Yeah. Oh, no problem. No problem. Thank you for answering. I really appreciate it. So, okay, no more chat spamming. No more, you guys, because we're going to get started, and that can be really distracting for people who are trying to go through it. Okay. So, yeah, it's week 15. We're going to talk about a little bit more of weight versus mass. There seems to be a lot of overlap in the lessons, so I'm definitely going to, I gotcha, but no more sponsorship. I said that weird. I said sponsorship. So I meant let's just get our stuff done. And then we're going to talk about writing expressions today. Okay, so two main things. You guys do have an extra credit opportunity this week. It's just capacity. It's the same as the weight or mass assignment, but it's dealing with capacity. So if you found it pretty easy to change between different measurements and stuff, definitely check out that capacity assignment. I feel like I'm doing a sponsorship. Sponsored by Extra Credit today. No, I'm just kidding. But yeah, so extra credit, and then you have 2 assignments this week. You totally can do it. Remember, I'm here to help. Right? And I will tell you that the weight or mass assignment is real similar to what we were talking about last week. It's kind of a little bit of review. So I have no idea if I advanced taught what I should have last week or whatever. Yeah, so good. My daughter. My daughter will come in and do beatboxing noises. It's really funny. Okay. Yes. Okay, so we talked about this last week. Okay, what's the main difference between weight and mass? Right? She's pro. Yeah. What's the main difference between weight and mass? Yeah, exactly. Mass, gravity is not in effect. It's just the substance of an object. Stays the same, right? No matter what. But weight can change based on the pull of gravity. Yeah, that's very good. So that's just the main thing. There is a question in the homework. It says something about mass. So make sure you guys know what mass, you guys are funny. Make sure you know what mass is, okay, the amount of substance in an object, because this right here is, oops, this is like the first question in your homework. You have to define mass, okay? And just don't forget, you can go to Google, right? Go to Google and type in what is mass, you know? Or you know how it works in Math Excel. If you guess wrong, just hit similar question. So yes, mass is a church. It's time to go to mass, right? Okay, and this again is a review from last week, but you guys are going to be dealing with. That's funny. You guys are too funny. That shouldn't be that funny to me, but it's really funny. We're in math class. Math class. Okay, I'm done. Wow, okay. Oh, anyway. So, we're going to be dealing with yes, too funny. This is why you don't teach when you're tired, right? But my goal is done. Yay! So I don't care. All right. So this is what we did last week. We talked about converting stuff, right? And we talked about that weird little saying of if you're dealing with your metric measurements. Okay, remember metric is used like everywhere. If you go to Mexico, right? Have you guys been to Mexico and seen the I'm sure not everybody has. I didn't travel anywhere until I was in college, you know, but if you've ever been to Mexico or You know, somewhere else other than the US, you'll see even the speed limit signs are in kilometers. So, not kilometers. Yeah, I think it is kilometers. I can't remember, but it's in a metric measurement. So, yeah, so this is the metric. Yeah, it makes, you know, makes a bit more sense. Or if you go to, I used to always watch the show Survivor Man. Have you guys ever seen that show? And Les Stroud, the guy who taught the show, oh, I love that. Not taught, led the show. He would always give the temperature in different places in Celsius, in degrees Celsius. And I'm like, what the heck? You know, I need to know what it is. He's in the Sahara. I want to know how hot it is in there. And he's giving me measurements in Celsius. I'm like, come on. But, you know, that is metric and stuff. Because of fish? What do you mean, my friend? Oh, gotcha. Very good. No, that's good. I know the equation. I mean, I don't know it, but I know you can go online. Or I know you can go to Google and type in how many degrees Fahrenheit is this degree Celsius. So, yeah, yeah. Uh-huh. Yeah. Makes sense. Makes sense. Okay, so you guys remember we talked about King Henry died unexpectedly drinking chocolate milk. We talked about that little it is, Arden, you're right. It is. Very good. I know. That's the freezing temperature, right? Everything freezes at 32 degrees or 0 degrees Celsius. It's very good. Anybody know what the Celsius? Wait, what? 64. Oh, yeah, you're right. You're right. I believe there is some degree of fraction and stuff in there when you convert it. Yeah. Interesting. Interesting. Okay. So if we want to convert from one to another in metric, it's pretty easy. Yep, boiling is 100 degrees. You're right. But if we want to convert from grams to kilograms in the metric thing, what is that? Where am I going to start? If here's my saying, you guys remember, where do we, well, we don't really start there. I mean, we could, but where would I start? If I have grams, which one of those letters am I going to go on? Because whenever you convert from metric to a different metric unit, you're going to use that saying. And everything kind of centers around this kilo, hecta, deca. There's the unit, deci, centi, and then milli. Where would I start for 7.6 grams? Which one of these letters? Because there's no G up there. Right? Yeah, there is no G. Where would the G? Yeah. Where would grams be? I mean, technically right here, there is a G. Okay, you're right there, but it would be the middle, right? So you see how this list is all in grams, okay? You could take every single list and adapt it. Yeah, no, I got you. Yeah, that makes sense, but grams would be in the middle. If I was dealing with meters, okay, I would have kilometers, hectometers, decameters, meters, decimeters, centimeters, or millimeters, right? So every single list in the metric system can be adapted based on what you're measuring. Now this one is mass, unit of mass. So we're talking about grams. But if you're just dealing with grams or meters or liters, something like that. It's all starting at the U. U stands for unit. And gram is just the plain unit. But we're going to go grams to kilograms, right? So I'm going to start at the unit and go to the K. 1, 2, 3. So to get from the unit to the K, I just went 3 spaces to the left. So I'm going to go to my decimal here. I'm going to go to 7.6, and I'm going to go 3 spaces to the left with the decimal point. 1, 2, 3. I have 0.0076. And I would label that kilograms. I'd probably even rewrite it. Oops, 0.0076. Does that make sense, you guys? Yeah. So wherever you start, whatever your, I don't know, main letter is of your unit, that's where you're going to start with, okay? So let's say, what if we had, let's see, I'm just going to come up with a number here. It might not be, what about 80 kilometers? So let's say we're in Mexico and we see a speed limit sign that says 80 kilometers per hour. And we want to know how many meters per hour that is. I'm not sure why we would want to know that, but whatever. Let's just say that that makes more sense to us. Okay. So here's my saying. King Henry died unexpectedly drinking chocolate milk. If I'm at kilometers, where would I start on that saying there? Which one's the kilometers? Okay, right. Yeah, the very left. And kilometers, I want to get to meters. Now, here's the thing. Is this meters? No, yeah, that's not meters. That's not. That's milli, right? That's the millimeters. So we got to be careful because that's very confusing. And I'm really, really glad that that person said that because that's a very common thing. Where do I want to go if I want to get to meters? What letter would that be? The U, right, because that is just the plain unit. And if we're dealing with meters, I'm going to go to the U, right. So I'm going to go 1, 2, 3 spaces to the right. So now if I have 80, where's my decimal technically hiding? Where's my decimal? Yeah, you're right. Good job, Vivi. So it's right after the number. If you don't see a decimal, you automatically put it right after the number. And then we're going to move 3 spaces to the right. 1, 2, 3. Other direction. 1, 2, and that would be only 2 spaces. Yeah, the same direction that you go in this little saying. So in this little saying, we went to the right. So you're going to do the same thing down there. You're going to go to the right, and then you're going to add for every space, add a 0. So we would get 80,000 meters per hour. It's a crazy speed limit. Ay. Whoa. I just got tired. Wake up. Question. Yeah, ask me questions. Right. Right. Yeah. Yeah. That is a good point. And if you ever get stuck, we really should never ever be stuck and not complete this stuff. Because what could you do as a failsafe? What could you do? I don't want you to do this. We could just Google it, right? You could just type in how many meters in 80 kilometers. It would totally tell you. I don't want you to do that because you got to learn it. But it's there if you're ever stuck. Okay? And I am absolutely okay with you guys using your resources to get the right answer because that's what you would do in real life. Right. Yeah. So everybody in your notebooks, you should just have this lineup. Maybe have the King Henry died unexpectedly drinking chocolate milk. Maybe have that in your notebook somewhere just so you don't forget it. You know, I would maybe have a little example. So like right here, if you start with centi, right here, and you want to get to grams, it's 1, 2, 3 to the left. Nope, I went too far. 2 to the left. Start with Santi, right? Santi, you're on the list. Santi's on the list. 1, 2. That'd be 2 to the left. Yeah. So I would have that down. Maybe write what it is just to help you make sense of it. Does that make sense, guys? Any questions? Beautiful. And we kind of talked about it last time. Good. Okay, and again, I never fix this, but this is units of length. This would actually be units of mass. I understand, totally. Someone just messaged me that their internet is really struggling. I totally get it. Everybody is on the internet, so. Yeah. No problemo. Okay, so we talked about this last week, but you know, classic things that it's really helpful to know right here, how many ounces in a pound. I would say if you guys know that, when you're shopping, holy cow, at 2, you should be sleeping then. I should talk. I was up with Netflix on until like 4, finishing my my goal. So yeah, I get it. So okay. So this one is a really, really helpful one. How many ounces in a pound? Even when I'm buying lunch meat. Because if you go to the deli as opposed to buying those pre-packaged ones, you're always trying to find the best deal. So, you know, it's helpful to know. And then we have tons to pounds. I can say I honestly have not used this one as much, but whatever, it's there. So, okay, we want to convert. We know that 1 ton is 2,000 pounds. I want to find out how many pounds are in 10 tons. What would I do? What would I do, friends? Yeah, good job, Santi. What did you do? Vivi, you got it on there. Yeah, very good, you guys. I would just take the amount of tons and I would multiply by 2,000. So we would get 20,000 pounds. Very good. And over here, yeah. Over here, we have ounces to pounds, okay? So I'm going to use my fact that I know. 16 ounces in 1 pound. Now, look at our facts here. This fact started with a 1, and it got bigger, and we multiplied. This fact starts with a number and goes to 1. So we're actually getting smaller. It's a smaller number because it's a larger measurement unit. So if your fact does not start with 1, that means you're going to divide, right? Because we want to figure out how many 16-ounce groups are in that 348 ounces. So this is where we would go 348 divided by 16. And that would tell us how many pounds. So what is 348 divided by 16? Desmos. Very good. You are right, my friend. 21.75 pounds. Okay, so the trick of the trade there is if it does not start with 1, if your fact that helps you convert from one unit to the other, if it does not start with 1, you're going to end up dividing. So, any questions? All right. Isaiah, that's really good. Okay, next part of our lesson is we're going to talk about writing algebraic expressions. Okay. And there are certain words that tell us what to do. And this is a classic thing you have to do in algebra. Okay. Classic thing. So there are certain words that tell us which math language to translate it into. Okay. And we're just going to go piece by piece. So we want to translate this phrase into an algebraic expression. We're going to use x to represent a number. So anything unknown turns into an x. Okay, we're going to go piece by piece. Let's look at this first part. The product of a negative 11 and a number. Product of negative 11 and a number. What does product tell us to do? Not tiring at all. What does product tell us to do? Yeah, to do the equation, product is a word associated with one operation. Which operation is it? Now, this is where it gets tricky. Oh, you guys are listing all the operations, right? Let's list what those are. So your possible operations are add, subtract, multiply, or divide. And product is what you get when you do one of those operations. Parker says multiplication. Who agrees with Parker? Yeah, Isaiah does too. Good job, you guys. So product is what you get when you multiply, right? So in your notebook, next to multiply, I would write the word product. Mult. That's right. What is the answer you get when you divide called? Starts with a Q. Very good, Isaiah. You got it. Quotient. Dividend is the thing that you're dividing by. Very good. quotient? And what about when you subtract? What is that called? That's why we're talking about this, Vivi, because it's easy to forget. What is the word that tells us that we're subtracting? What is the answer you get when you subtract? What is that called? Starts with a D. And it's not dumb, stupid math. No. No, that's not what it is. No. That's really funny. That's great. The Desmos. Oh my gosh. That is great. I love that. Oh, that's really funny. And it ends with ents. Starts with a D. Rhymes with ents. Difference. Good job, Isaiah. You got it. Good job. That's really funny. The answer, dense. The answer. All right. And what about with addition? What is the answer you get when you add something? Starts with an S. Super Mario. Oh, you guys. No, no, we don't. Subtraction. Oh, that's a good one. I feel like I want to copy this chat. This is funny. It starts with an S. Super Mario. Some Vivi, you rock. Good job, Vivi. Ship sail sword. No. Yeah, we're gonna add and get the swordfish. You guys. So we add and we get this sum. Yeah. Yeah. You're right. It was. It was a good call. Yeah. That's so funny. Oh, you guys. Okay. So what we want to do is we want to go piece by piece with this, okay? In this expression, we have the word product, and that means now we're doing what operation? What operation are we doing? We're doing multiplication, right? So we are going to multiply -11 and a number. And a number. And we don't know what number it is, and it tells us to use X to represent a number. So we're multiplying -11 times X. -11. And whenever you have -11 times X, you can just write it as a -11X. And then that -11X is increased by 7. What do you guys think? What operation is that? What word goes with increased? Plus. Yeah, that's going to be plus. So this expression would be -11x plus 7. So what we're doing is we're taking regular words and we're converting it into math language. Okay? Plus. Yes, you're right. Okay, bottom one here. So we're going to go piece by piece. The product. Oop, product means I'm going to do what operation? Not Pluto. Nope. What does product go with again? Multiply. Yep. What am I going to multiply here? It says of 4 and the sum of -3 and a number. Oops, that's weird. So what am I going to multiply? 4. So what's one of the numbers that I'm multiplying? Okay, 4 is one of them. Yes. Now this other one, the sum of -3 and a number. So according to this, I want to take 4 and multiply it by the sum of -3 and a number. What does sum go with? What operation is that? Add, yeah. So according to this, I'm going to take 4 and I'm going to multiply by -3 and a number. But now, guys, what am I going to have to add around that -3 and the number? Because I want to take 4 and I want to multiply by the whole thing. I don't just want to multiply. Yeah, I need parentheses, right? Because otherwise, I'm just going to multiply -3 by 4. And I don't want to do that. I want to multiply the whole thing. Hey, that's all right. That works. Okay, and then is -25. What do you guys think is? What math symbol goes with is? 2 plus 2 is 4. 1 plus 3 is 4. Equals, yeah, is goes with equals. So equals -25. Questions on that? And then I'm done because it just tells me to write the expression and write the equation. And if you ever get stuck, there are very, very good resources. Oh, that's so sweet. There are very, very good resources online about the different words that mean things. Okay? So, like, if I would go to Google, let's see, math words that tell us to, or actually you could even just type in writing math algebraic expressions. Yeah. Here we go. Look at this. There's really good resources of different words that you can use that tell us what to do. Okay, so use, that's right, my friend. So use Google to your advantage. Yeah. Alrighty. Questions on that? Where can I find my bathroom? Well, that is all I have for you today, lovely people.